Right, we have hit on 3 of the 4 Power 5 hires made over the last few days. We got one more left.
I think I'm really good in recruiting in the living room. I think I'm really good at casting our vision. I think I'm really good at building relationships with them and the significant people in their decision-making process. Auburn is easy to sell. Just come and see. That'll be our message. Come and see. Come and see. Come and get the feel. Come see. And if we get them here, I think it'll be tough to beat us.
Should we come see? Is that what he's asking us to do? I think I got that right. Let's welcome in Jason Caldwell to talk some Tigers. Jason, from the very beginning, it looked like Lane Kiffin was A.D. John Cohen's top target. He stays at Ole Miss, so then things kind of shifted to Hugh Freeze. He gets the job, so right off the bat, how much of an impact does Freeze being named the head coach affect Auburn's recruiting class as they look to finalize that 2023 class?
Yeah, obviously a lot of work to be done when you start talking about picking up where, interim coach Cadillac Williams left off, a class that hasn't been great to this point under Brian Harsin. They've actually done some kind of catching up a little bit under Cadillac and the coaches that have remained. So that's been a big deal for them. And so now you look at Hugh Freeze coming in, a guy that's been out of the Power 5 realm for a few years now. I mean, he was at Ole Miss, but it's been a few years since he's recruited against Southeastern Conference at Liberty. And so for him, it's new faces, but maybe some old familiar places that he's been. And obviously, being at Ole Miss, he recruited the state of Alabama some. And so there'll be some places that he's been before. But you look at it, Auburn's made some inroads with some really talented kids. And you look at the amount of guys just in the state of Alabama alone, that's going to be a heavy emphasis for him right away. Obviously, retaining Cadillac Williams, having him by his side to start this process was really important. It was a must, in my opinion. And so now you look at this state, guys like James Smith and Quay Russaw, a pair of 5-star kids from Montgomery. There will be probably early visits for them once this thing kicks back off on Friday. But then you look at guys that are committed in this state. Tony Mitchell's a 5-star DB commitment at Alabama from Thompson High School that's visited Auburn multiple times. Keldrick Falk, 4-star defensive line commitment to Florida State from then state that's visited Auburn multiple times. So there's kids that Auburn has continued to recruit. They've continued to look at Auburn. And now, what kind of impact can Hugh Freeze make in this short time now as we head towards the early signing period?
Yeah, Jason, Hugh Freeze isn't a stranger to some of the battles that he's about to walk into, right? You mentioned Bama and Georgia and LSU and Tennessee and Florida and all these schools that are really vying for the same type of prospect. And I wonder if he has a bigger recruiting pitch than just come and see. What kind of recruiter is Hugh Freeze?
Yeah, I think he's been really good. Obviously, you look at his success at Ole Miss, and he's sent guys to the NFL, had first-round draft picks. And so the thing I think is really interesting for him is he's done it on both sides of the ball. They had people might not realize they had the nation's leader in scoring defense in 2014 at Ole Miss. People think about him as being an offensive coach, but he's put defensive guys in the NFL and has recruited there. But I think his quarterback development, offense, scoring points, that's now the name of the game. And even defensive guys want to play on teams like that because they know a better chance of playing for a championship if your offense can score. So I think he can sell that vision. And I think for him, the sell part is, hey, come give us a chance. And I think that's the thing that you look at Auburn right now is there's going to be opportunity. When you start talking about, getting on the field and challenging and competing and playing against the likes of, Alabama and Georgia in this league, there's going to be opportunity for Auburn right away. And he talked about the mix of, signing, transfer portal, doing those things. It's an important thing when you start talking about building a program, rebuilding a program. And that's what Hugh Freeze is tasked with right now.
You said retaining Cadillac Williams was a must for Hugh Freeze. He will remain on staff as the associate head coach and running backs coach, if I could speak. His impact was really felt as the interim. You felt that energy, that new belief in this Auburn program. So how much will he be an asset when it comes to recruiting?
Yeah, kind of thinking about it a little bit today, I was thinking that you essentially now giving yourself a pair of head coaches. You can almost double up if you're Auburn on the road right now and send Hugh Freeze in somewhere. You can send Cadillac somewhere else. Then those guys can go back to the other place and give you multiple visits. So it's almost like you're in essence, you're going to give yourself multiple in-home visits with a head coach type figure. That's not something that many schools have the option to do. I think Auburn has that option right now. And so having him jump on board really quickly, and he's a guy that loves the program, obviously a guy that can sell the program. And I think having to step up in his role the last month, moving from running backs coach to an interim head coach, has given Cadillac a much different feel for how to go out and sell the program. He did it as a running back coach before. but this guy can now sell an entire program. And now you have a couple of guys that can sell that vision of what they think this program is going to be. I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, Jason, the contact period opens up on Friday. We're going to see a lot of in-home visits. Emily, we teased the in-home, photo in front of the Christmas tree. I think we're going to start to see a lot of those from Hugh Freeze. But when you look at the itinerary and when you look at maybe some of the plane tracking that's going to go on right now, who do you see as high on the priority list for Auburn and Hugh Freeze?
Yeah, I mentioned a couple of guys already. I think James Smith, Quay Russaw, those kids from Carver, Montgomery, a pair of 5-star guys, are going to be obviously guys that you go see early. I mentioned Keldrick Falk as well. I think Miami and a guy like Reuben Bain. Reuben Bain is a premier pass rusher. Auburn's got to have help at the pass rush position. So I think you look there. And I think you look on the offensive line. I think that's the other area, especially offensive tackle, where you start to go, can Auburn make up ground and continue to be in with a guy like DJ Chester. So I think DJ Chester is an early guy as well. He was here the last couple of games. He was actually here for the Auburn's last game against Western Kentucky at home. And so those are guys I think would be early visit potential guys for Hugh Freeze.
Jason, thank you so much for all of your great insight. You have been all over the changes at Auburn, so be sure to check out Auburn Undercover for the latest as the Tigers embark on the Hugh Freeze era.